working against them this past season.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly. Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
The three from Harden. Second chance shot. And he sinks the layup. Motiejunas has got his first basket. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Rockets.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. No luck, they battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
Here's Huertas. Great D that time from Howard. It's Harden with the drive. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. And Los Angeles with some changes. Pass comes in for Roy Hibbert. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in. And it's Brewer in for James Harden.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, he didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling. Yeah, the Rockets were able to make it to the second spot in the West at the very end of the season. Actually came down to the last day. They could have ended as low as 6th going into the final game.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. McDaniels comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Now here's Beasley. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. The lead pushed to double digits. Last season for the Rockets, they finished as the #2 team in the West to the Golden State Warriors. But, you know, gee, they had to battle the whole way through.
Yeah, in part because of injuries. I mean, the Rockets did well to come in second in the West, but it was because they took care of the so-called easy games. 33 wins in the conference, but a record of 12-16 against the other playoff teams out West.
Rockets with the rebound.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
15 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Kobe. And the rebound goes to Jason Terry.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Rockets lead by 10. And well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
So on the floor for Houston, Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Howard is out there with Beasley. And it's Ariza in the small forward position.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that. Now that's an old school move right there. A good one too, the fadeaway.
Harden. And it's slammed in by Howard.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Goes up the baseline. Here's Randall. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Stolen by Beverly. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Los Angeles making a switch here. Hibbert's checked in. And a switch here also for Houston. Monty Eunice is checked in. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Russell dishes to Williams. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. It's stolen by Randall. And now Russell pushing it up. No one back to stop him. That one goes. Count.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Yeah, it looks like they've gained a little bit of confidence as the lid has come off the hoop.
And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Houston shooting their first free throw of the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
Ryan, he's checked in for the Lakers. And both free throws good for Clarkson. A big part of the problem for the Lakers last year was consistency. Clark, with all their injuries, they had to shuffle the lineup, it seemed, every game.
Well, you know what happened with all that shuffling was they got to see a lot of different players and evaluate them for the future. I think it helped in regards to what they're going to do this offseason.
The Rockets have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
And for the Lakers, obviously the big get for them was landing the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Getting a quality big to add to a roster with Kobe is huge. It made them a player, again, I believe, in free agency.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand, Jen. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Rockets leading by 13. And they go to the intentional foul.
And, you know, when it comes to the Lakers, they're always going to be players in free agency if they have money. It's still a marquee franchise in the NBA, one of the top 2 or 3, no doubt. When you have high draft picks and money to spend, people want to play for you, and not to mention California is an attractive destination. You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Nance is checked in. Kobe kicks to Nance. No luck. So Houston will take it the other way. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Lakers trail by 17. Williams passes to Nance. Baseline jumper. Nance with another miss. Houston's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
I think the crowd is still stunned by that one.
And he commits the intentional foul. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's Brewer in for James Harden. Williams dishes to Hibbert, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
KJ McDaniels, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. A shot by McDaniels, no good. Bryant drives in. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
And he'll take it right into the teeth of the D without thinking twice about it.
Terry kicks to Capella, and that is good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Lakers were awful in a lot of aspects last season, and their play at home was a major one. Greg, they just couldn't do anything at home, and I think the fans were giving up hope as well.
And given how pricey those Laker tickets are, Kevin,
yeah,
there was a lot to be salty about in Laker land, so can't be a bottom dweller and charge that much for seats.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Roy Hibbert. And here we go. And it's Brewer. Finishing it off.
It's been about tempo and pace with this group, and it's led to a huge advantage in fast break points.
Greg, it's really the main reason they're in front. All that early offense. I mean, when they've had the chance to push it, they've pushed it.
And he makes the first.
Taking 2 shots.
You know, the Lakers were a bottom dweller last year. I mean, their home record was 12-29, guys. That was tied for the second worst mark in the NBA.
And you know, guys, a lot of the problems for the Lakers at home last season was with their shooting. They had the lowest three-point percentage in the league at home. Not exactly friendly bounces for them.
Offensive rebound.
Oof, this guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
And the Lakers making a change here. Russell's checked in.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Man, I like their approach to the game right now. There's tremendous aggression on both ends, putting the onus on the officials.
And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Williams. There's 21 seconds left here in the second. And the jam by Larry Nance.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Rockets leading by 18. Now here's Terry. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Up in time, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. So as
With the score, your Lakers 28, the Rockets 46. Your safety is our #1 concern. In the event of emergency evacuation